So long, farewell, Wii Shop Channel, and thanks for all the games. You let me play old games on Nintendo Wii, and that was really great. So, it's probably apparent to pretty much everyone that follows Nintendo and retro gaming that the Wii Shop Channel is dead. It is dead as a doornail. It is no longer. For those of you who don't know, what the real Wii Shop Channel is essentially a format on the Wii, basically a function that the Nintendo Wii console had, by which you could purchase old games with your own hard-earned money and have them downloaded onto your console and to be able to play them on your Nintendo Wii, through your Nintendo Wii onto your TV. After you purchased them, you owned them permanently, and this is a really awesome feature because it allowed those of us who maybe who wanted to play more retro games but didn't necessarily want to buy a retro console to be able to play more of these old games. Obviously, I own most of these old retro consoles anyway, so it didn't always apply to me, but still, I was able to play some games like Gunstar Heroes, which are only available on the Sega Genesis / Sega Mega Drive, if you will. And it was just an awesome system, I thought. Great for just consolidating old games in one and being able to pick and choose which games you wanted, so sort of allowing more user choice, if you will. And Nintendo has now, they've been phasing it out for a couple years now, but now they officially pulled the plug on it at the end of January 30th was the last day, likely in order to make room for their new Nintendo Switch Nintendo Classics thing, which is basically a feature of the subscription. For those of you that got this subscription, you get to play these classic Nintendo games through the subscription, somewhat temporarily. But it looks like they're being added. I have the subscription and I've dabbled in it a little bit, and while it's not bad, I also think it's not the same. It leaves a lot to be desired. I think that there's a lot of growing room for this feature, and sometimes it feels like it's not necessarily worth the price that you're paying. For me, it's about $19.99 or $20, at least that's for the annual subscription. So the price itself isn't bad, but just the number of games is very, very limited. There's only NES games, and they're only basically what Nintendo will let you play. So there's really no freedom of really being able to choose which games you want to actually play on the thing. Whereas the Wii Virtual Console was excellent in that regard because you could go across all consoles from NES, Super Nintendo, to Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, even some handheld stuff, and you could pick and choose which games you wanted to play. And it was just a much better format in many ways. You can see I suck at Super Mario Bros. 3, but I needed some gameplay footage. Plus I have a cold, so I don't know how off I sound. But I think that this isn't really the time to complain too much. I'm more just trying to pay homage to what I thought was a really great feature and something that really, I think, got Nintendo in the right direction back in the Wii days with allowing us to be able to actually play more of these retro games. Because before that, there were ports on the Game Boy Advance and DS and stuff, but a lot of retro games you'd have to go out and buy an old console to actually play these games, whereas we illegally play them on an emulator. But with the Virtual Console, there was just so much more option, so much more you could do. You could buy one console and play all these great old games, and it was just such a special feature. And yeah, it definitely had a novelty like the Wii itself that probably wore off a little bit over time. But if you look at the alternative, there's a lot about the Wii Virtual Console that was objectively better than what they're doing now, in many ways. And the other thing that's kind of a bummer is the fact that if you deleted any of your games, they're now lost forever. say you ran out of space with these games because they were taking up too much RAM on your Wii console, so you had to delete them temporarily to put more stuff on. Like, if you didn't go back and save them, they were lost forever. I saved them on one of my flash drives, so hopefully I can put them on my Wii U, which I still have. But yeah, it is a bummer that that's how it works. Honestly, I would have liked them to just have something like the regular Virtual Console on the Switch rather than what they have now. Maybe they'll get back to that format eventually if enough of their fans, show them via voting with their dollar that that's what they prefer, or if there's enough of enough fans saying so online, things of that nature. I mean, sometimes Nintendo listens to their fans. I mean, with Nintendo, it's always a little bit up in the air. You never really know what they're gonna do. I mean, their games are always fantastic, but their actual sometimes policies are always a little hit or miss. And the new system, I'm frankly just not sure about yet. But like I said, I'm just going more in the complaining direction. That's not what I want to do. I just think the Wii Virtual Console, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to play all these great games that I might not have been able to play otherwise had I not had you. Like, Gunstar Heroes is an awesome game that I might never have been able to play, and there's so many games that I never got around to playing and purchasing that I wish I had, now looking back on it. I only hope that, someday I'll be able to make amends for that through another system, or actually buying an old Sega Genesis to be able to play more of those great games. And I'm just gonna say, Wii Virtual Console, I miss you. I'm gonna keep missing you. I thought it was just a great little feature of the Wii, and yeah, it was a relic of Nintendo's sort of experimental age that they had in the mid to late 2000s, like 2004 to 2012, sort of that period. Really, if you want to go even further, 2004 to 2016, 17, before the Switch came out. I can't thank them enough for coming up with a simple but brilliant little device that I think is something that will be sorely missed by many fans, myself included. So I just want to say Godspeed, Wii Virtual Console, and thanks for all the games.
Welcome!
Thanks for watching. Subscribe!